The latest GMC SUV to receive a makeover is the 2025 Terrain, which holds up the compact end of the truck maker's lineup. In addition to all new sheet metal, the Terrain receives a new headlamp design that mimics the larger Yukon SUVs. Like the previous generation model, the new Terrain shares a platform with the Chevrolet Equinox. The Terrain will begin a new generation for the 2025 model year, complete with a bolder look and modern features. GMC wouldn't be GMC if it didn't offer ruggedish at 4 and fancy pants Denali versions of the Terrain, and those will join the Elevation sometime next year as 2026 model year vehicles. The at4 will ride on 17-inch wheels with all-terrain tires, and you'll be able to tell it apart thanks to a unique grille and full LED exterior lighting. True to its name, the at4 will be slightly more capable than standard Terrains, thanks to revised suspension components, hill descent control, a front skid plate that's actually made of metal, a crawl/terrain driving mode, and a slightly raised ride height. All Terrains come with a turbocharged 1.5-liter 4-cylinder engine that makes 175 horsepower. Front-wheel drive models come with a continuously variable automatic transmission, but if you go with an all-wheel drive model, you'll get a conventional 8-speed automatic. GMC will launch the Terrain with one engine and standard all-wheel drive, though the company says front-wheel drive variants will arrive later on. The Terrain's 1.5-liter turbocharged inline-4 puts out 175 horsepower and 203 pound-foot of torque, which is good but not great and means the compact SUV can only tow 1,500 pounds. That's the same engine found in the current Terrain, so we're expecting fuel economy numbers to carry over largely unchanged. Official 2025 Terrain EPA data is still TBD, but a 2024 Terrain with all-wheel drive is estimated to return 23 miles per gallon city, 28 miles per gallon highway, and 25 miles per gallon combined. The former Elevation package has been replaced by a black package that upgrades the standard 17-inch wheels to 19s in black, while murdering out all the other trim and badging. And a premium package upgrades the cloth seats to Coratec faux leather, adds wireless charging, roof rails, an integrated garage door opener, and 19-inch silver wheels. The Terrain is a 2-row SUV with seating for 5. Its interior design blends rugged themes from elsewhere in GMC's truck lineup with plenty of convenience features and technology, as a vertically oriented 15.0-inch infotainment touchscreen takes up big real estate on the dashboard. All models come with heated seats, a heated steering wheel, and remote start. Interior materials look decent in photos, but we'll reserve judgment until we can sample the Terrain for ourselves. A large 15.0-inch infotainment touchscreen is standard across the lineup and runs GM's latest Google-based interface. Navigation is available through the Google Maps app, and owners can add more apps of their choice by downloading them to the system via a 5G data connection. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard, and all models also get an 11.0-inch digital gauge display. It's good that the Terrain's tech game is strong because the rest of the interior is kind of meh. It's definitely a case of function over form here, which we suppose is fine for a compact SUV, but the material quality of the prototypes we checked out was a little drab. It features a floating volume knob adhered to the screen and a row of hard buttons along its bottom edge for climate control. All terrains get a soft, stitched trim material on the dash, doors, and center console with bright chrome accents running across the dash and doors as well. It feels reasonably upscale in the elevation model, but with the added leather and contrasting colors available in the Denali variant, it starts to look like a Lincoln Corsair competitor, if a grossly underpowered one. Another plus, the last-gen Terrain's dorky push/pull buttons that served as a shifter are binned in favor of a column-mounted stock. Dimensionally, it grows 2.1 inches in width and about a ½ inch in height, with track widths also broadening by nearly 2 inches. This helps lend a broader stance, but most of that width was apportioned to styling. Shoulder and hip dimensions only wiggle less than an inch, and passenger space remains about the same. Cargo space behind the rear seat is virtually unchanged. Cargo space behind the rear seats also looks generous, but when we get a chance, we'll load the Terrain with our carry-on suitcases for our cargo space test and update this story with details. Beyond that, there's still quite a bit we don't know about the new Terrain. It looks a bit taller and wider, but GMC hasn't shared specifics regarding dimensions or any changes to the chassis. The entry-level elevation trim comes first, replacing SLE and SLT and reaching dealerships in late 2024. At 4 and Denali will arrive next year as 2026 models, offering more features, more luxury, and on at 4, more off-road upgrades. The 2025 Terrain will go on sale in late 2024 as a 2025 model, offered only in Elevation AWD trim at first. The standard front drive/CVT option is expected in February, followed shortly by the at 4 and Denali variants, which will arrive as 2026 models. Stay tuned as we near the on-sale date for definitive pricing info and a drive opportunity to better gauge whether the poshness gap between the Equinox and Terrain has increased, and how well it's justified by the pricing gap.